y'all, good afternoon. I am in the kitchen already. It's still early, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started on supper because I've got some things I wanna do this afternoon. And what I'm making is some fried green tomatoes. Yes, fried green tomatoes. I love fried green tomatoes. And these are the first fried green tomatoes of the season for my husband and I. First thing I'm gonna do is cut them. And I did wash these. And I'm gonna cut the ends off, just that little end there. And we're just gonna cut these in about, I'd say anywhere like 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside. And now I'm going to grab some cornmeal and some flour. And I like to do half and half. And since I've got about 6 slices, I think I'm gonna do about a half a cup of each. And this is self-rising flour. I like to use White Lily flour. And I've got Martha White self-rising cornmeal, and it's the yellow cornmeal. And we're just gonna mix this up. And now I'm gonna add some Tony Chachere's Cajun seasoning. This is the no salt, okay? And I'm gonna guess about a teaspoon of that. Maybe a teaspoon and a half. I'm gonna add some salt. And I'm gonna guess I'm gonna add about a half a teaspoon of salt. Let's give this a mix. Now I'm just gonna dip each one of these right into this flour and cornmeal mixture. We're gonna let these sit for 10 minutes, and that is the key to making fried green tomatoes. Just let that sit and soak in. So our tomatoes have been sitting for about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the skillet ready. So I am using a 10-inch cast iron skillet. This is what I like to use to fry these, and I just poured about an inch to maybe a half an inch of pure canola oil right into that iron skillet. And if you're frying something, you're gonna wanna always use pure canola oil, especially if you want it to be crispy. That is the key to having crispy fried food, is canola oil. Trust me, I'm Southern. I've been frying for years and years, and you talk to a lot of Southern gals and they'll tell you pure canola oil is the way to go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn my stovetop eye, the burner, on about a 6 to start with, and then we're gonna cut it down. But we're gonna let this oil get hot. While our oil is heating up and getting ready, I'm gonna go ahead and make my wet batter. And what I'm using is about a half a cup of buttermilk. Today we're gonna use buttermilk. You can use regular milk as well. It does not have to be buttermilk, but I've got some, so I'm definitely gonna use that buttermilk. And for this, because I've just got 6 tomatoes, I'm going to use just 1 egg. And the more tomatoes you have, the more milk and egg you would want. But that is plenty for what we've got. Remember, we used flour and cornmeal in this bowl? Well, don't toss that. We're gonna use that again. And we're gonna dip these again. The tomatoes have been sitting for 10 minutes. They've already got our dry batter on it, so we're gonna just put it right into our wet mixture. Get it really soaked well, and then put it right back into our dry mixture. You wanna make sure to coat the outside as well. Now I'm just gonna put that back on the plate until our oil gets ready. Okay, now back to our oil. I can already tell that it is ready But a good way for you to test it is just to drop some of the batter in there, and you will see it's already started to fry and it'll be floating. So this oil is ready. And your stovetop eye is on, I have mine on 6. So you're gonna wanna cut that down now because you don't want this oil to get too hot. And we're just gonna drop these right in here. And I might need my tongs for that, y'all. Now my oil is too hot, okay? So I'm gonna cut it all the way down to low. We wanna quickly get this temperature under control because if you don't, you'll burn them really quickly. And you will play with your temperature. You will bump it up to medium to low throughout the entire process of frying. That is something that just takes time and practice when you're frying food. Now we're gonna flip these. Look at there. You want to use a fork to flip them with. I found that's the best tool to use so that you don't knock that batter off. These are ready, and what I like to do is I will grab a plate with a paper towel on it and I will just set them on the paper towel and let some of that oil seep out of them. Go ahead and turn your stovetop eye off. Then I just like to set these on the opposite side. Throw down some more paper towels. And do the same thing all over again. And you do not want to leave your cast iron skillet in this hot oil on this stovetop eye. You want to move it away. And voila, just like that. These are so good. They are so crunchy on the outside. They're just delicious. I can't eat them just yet because they're too hot, but I'm dying to bite into one. But y'all, these are so crunchy on the outside and just so good in the middle. Y'all go make you some fried green tomatoes.